Thank you for reminding me now. Okay, the first step in order to configure CIFS, let me recap it quickly. So in order to configure CIFS, first we need to collect a few information, like few details we need to collect before that. Okay, first thing is domain name of your organization and domain controller server IP or host name. Okay. Host name means nothing but the name which is linked with the IP address in DNS. That's it. Okay. Second thing is a user account with admin privileges to Active Directory, Active Directory domain server, domain controller server, and its password. Okay, these are the things we need to collect before proceeding with the CIFS configuration. Without these details, we'll be not able to proceed further. Okay, so as part of the CIFS setup, first step, what we need to do, we need to link our vServer with domain controller. We need to establish the communication. We need to establish the communication between our vServer and domain controller server. So this is the command. So this is the command to verify if it is already configured or not. vServer services DNS show, but here I am not able to see anything. There is an entry, but that is for my cluster. My cluster is already linked with the domain and the domain controller server, but I need to link individual vServer, because as I told you, every vServer will act like an individual container. Okay, so you need to configure the DNS configuration, like you need to enable the communication between your vServer and domain controller. So this is the command vServer services DNS create vServer name domain, and here you need to provide the domain name of, and these domain details you'll get it from your Windows team only, and also but if you want to mention more than one servers, you can use a comma and you can add another server as well. Okay, you can add up to 3 servers here. Okay, that's it. See, it is already configured. Now check that vServer services DNS show. If you run this command, see, I'm able to see this. Okay, so our first step is completed. Now the second step is we have created lifts, right, for on my vServer data lifts. So what do I need to do? I need to add these lifts in DNS server with a name. Generally, this will be taken care by Windows team or DNS team. We don't do it. What we'll do, we'll provide the IPs and we'll provide the name to them. Like we'll create a request to them. Okay, like this. Please map the below IPs to SVM1. We'll put this in something like that. Okay, SVM1 in DNS, something like that. And after that, we'll provide the IPs 192.168.0.121 and 192.168.0.122. Okay, like that. So what they'll do, they'll map these two IPs to this particular name, so that we don't need to use IPs. Instead of IPs, we can use this name. So when you use this name, it will it will reach out to one of these IPs. Okay, we need to do that. But as this is lab, we have to do it on our own. I'll show you how to do that. So this is a RDP, and from here, just click on this button. It will show you DC1. DC1 is our domain controller server, right? I already told you here. DC1 is our domain controller. So you need to connect to it. And you know the username and password, right? Already here, the username and password are already there. Okay, now I need to enter the password. Same password, capital NETAPP1. Okay, now I entered into domain controller. So click on start button, or what you need to do, just click on search button and type administrative, something like that, admin. So you'll get it, this thing, administrative tools. So just open it. So here, from here only, you'll be able to manage everything, all the services like Active Directory related services, DNS, NTP, everything you'll be able to manage it from here only. So now I need to configure DNS, right? I need to add entries to the DNS. So open DNS. So this is my DNS. So here, normally it will be like this. So you need to expand this server name, and here you'll be able to see forward lookup zone. So expand forward lookup zone. Here you'll be able to see the domain name here, domain name demo.netapp.com. In our lab, the domain name is demo.netapp.com, right? So yeah. So expand here, and if you click on domain, the domain, you'll be able to see all the entries here, DNS entries. See our cluster name, cluster one is linked with IP, like that. Okay, everything will be linked with the IP address. So here there is an entry already created for SVM1. I don't know why they did that. Let's delete it. Okay, with some other IPs. Okay, so now right click here, click on new host. Now you need to enter your name, which name you want to map your IPs. And here you will get the FQDN. FQDN means fully qualified domain name. That means nothing but at the end of the name, you will get the domain name as an extension. That's it. And here you need to that you'll get automatically. Okay. And here you need to enter the IP address 192.168.0.121. And before that, let me show you before configuring this. Yeah, let me ping it. Okay, ping SVM1. Will show you some error. See, ping request could not work because we don't have any IPs linked with this name. Okay, let's leave it aside. Now add the entries to the DNS. Okay, I'm adding 121 now, and you need to check this option, create associated pointer record, because DNS will work in both ways. Okay, name to IP, IP to name as well. But if you uncheck this, then IP to name will not work. Only name to IP will work. Mostly that is again based on your requirement, and we don't need to know all these things because this is a different technology. Again, this is not related to storage, but as you want to practice in lab, I'm showing it to you. Okay, uh, if you want other people also allow to edit this, then you need to click this. Generally, let's do that. Okay, it is added. See, SVM1 is linked with this IP address. Now I'm going to add another entry, 192.168.0.122, right? That's it. Now see, now my vServer name is linked with these two IPs. So let me try to ping SVM1 name now. See, it is pinging now to SV22, 122 IP. Like that, it will pick the IP randomly. It will not pick 122 only every time. It will pick the IP randomly. Sometimes it will pick 121, sometimes it will pick 122, like that. Okay. So this is the second step. Second step is we need to map our LIF IPs to DNS entry. Okay, of our to our vServer name. Generally, it is not like you need to map them to a vServer name. Whatever name you want to configure for your virtual server. For example, I told you, right, we are going to create a virtual CIFS server. Okay, so for example, if you want to use SVM1 only, SVM1 as a your virtual CIFS server name, then mount it to that name. Or if you want to use a different name, for example, CIFS V server, something like that, then map the IPs to this name. Okay, but generally people will use the same name for your virtual CIFS server also as your vServer name. That's why I mapped it. I have followed the same here. But if you want, you can do that. You can use a different name. Okay, I'll show you all those things. Okay, now our second step is also completed. Next thing is now, yeah, we are good to go with the vServer creation. vServer CIFS show. Okay, so this is the command to see if CIFS is already configured on top of any vServer or not. See, I don't have any CIFS configured on any vServer. It is showing empty. Now I need to configure it. vServer CIFS create vServer name on top of which vServer we are doing that. And here it is asking for the virtual CIFS server name. I want to use the same name as my vServer name. But if you want to use a different name, that is what I told you. Then you need to map the IPs to that name. Okay, in DNS. And here you need to provide the again domain name demo.netapp.com. OU means nothing but we'll call it as organizational unit. That means nothing but whatever the configurations related to our virtual CIFS server, these configurations will be stored in Active Directory domain controller as well. If you want to store them in a specific location, then you need to specify the specific location here, organizational unit, or else let's leave it to default. Default is CN equal to computers. Okay, if you don't want to do that. Okay, but normally these OU details also you'll get it from your Windows team only. Like if they want you to store the configuration, your Netapp CIFS virtual server configuration somewhere in the domain controller, then they'll give you the specific OU location. Or else let's leave it to that doesn't make any problem. Only thing is it is to manage the configuration in an organized way. Like okay, so that's okay. After that status admin up. That's it. Remaining things you don't need to provide. Okay. Now, once I hit enter, now it is asking for the username and password. Why it is asking for the username and password? I told you, right? My Active Directory is a centralized mechanism, centralized authentication mechanism. Now, I'm linking my vServer with Active Directory. So whenever I'm linking something to that secure mechanism, first I need to prove myself, right? That I have privileges to add someone to this centralized mechanism. That is the reason it is asking for the username and password. And that too, what kind of privilege you need? You need admin privilege. For example, you are living in a society, okay, apartment society, okay. Your friend came to visit you. First you need to prove the security people, right? Okay, you are living here and you are authorized to allow someone, then only they will allow, right? The same way here. That is the reason I told you to get the administrative privilege user account and password. Now we have already user account, right? So same user account you need to use, administrator and same password. Administrator username is, you don't need to specify the domain name there. Okay, password, because domain already we specified. See, demo.netapp.com, it is already specified. Yeah, it is already configured now. CIFS is configured. vServer CIFS show. If you run this command, see, I'm able to see it now. This is my vServer name, virtual CIFS server name, status of it, which domain it is, authentication style domain, like that. Okay. Any questions, guys? Or do you want me to repeat it again? No problem. We can do it on SVM too. Like if you want me to repeat it. Okay. Cool. Now we can start provisioning the clients through CIFS protocol. Okay, we can start provisioning the storage to clients through CIFS protocol. Let's do that. let's see. We have, yeah, I have so many volumes, right? Now I want to create, I want to present my vol1 to one of my client. Okay, let me verify. Before doing that, let me verify the security style of my volume and junction path. It is linked with any junction path or not. Vol1, yeah, it is linked with junction path, and my security style is NTFS, so no problem, I can do that. Okay, now what do I need to do? So the process of presenting storage to clients via CIFS protocol is called as CIFS shares or SMB shares. So whenever someone needs storage via CIFS protocol, then they'll ask you create a 10 GB CIFS share. I need a 1 TB CIFS share, or I need a 2 TB SMB share. Like that, they'll ask you in this way. They'll not ask you like I need a storage via CIFS protocol, something like that. Okay, they'll ask you simply I need a SMB or CIFS share of 1 TB, something like that. Okay, so now let's see how we can present it. So vserver CIFS share show. Okay, this is the command to check the existing shares. That means whatever the storage already provisioned or presented via CIFS protocol, that will be visible if you run this command. See, I haven't done anything just now. I have configured it, but still I'm able to see some entries here. That is because these all are default shares. We'll call them as default shares. We don't touch them. We'll leave them as it is. We don't touch them. Okay. So let's create our share now. vserver CIFS share create share name. You need to enter a name for share. Okay, I'm just creating it as a share one. You can give whatever name you want, and it is asking for the path. In path place, you need to mention the junction path of your volume. See, it is not asking for any volume name, right? It is asking for the path. That is the reason I told you it is very important. You need to know the junction path instead of a volume name. Volume name doesn't matter in NAS, okay, and in CIFS especially. Okay, that's it. This is a simple command to create a CIFS share. vserver CIFS share show. If I run this command now, see, I'm able to see my share on SVM1. I'm able to see a share called share1, which is created on wall1 junction path, this particular junction path. And these all are all some additional properties which we are going to discuss in a while. And this is a permission. So by default, everyone will get full control on a share. And before that, let me discuss few things. Okay. So there are 4 types of permissions in CIFS. First one is full control. Second one is change. Third one is read. Fourth one is no access. Okay. So no access means nothing but let's discuss about that later. Okay. Read means nothing but the whatever the user you specified, Active Directory user, he'll get only read only access to share. Okay. That means he can view the data. Only he can view the data on the share or volume. He cannot modify, he cannot delete, he cannot write, he'll be not able to do anything. Okay. Next, change. Change means By using change option, if you apply a change permission, he can write the data, delete the data, modify the data, read the data. He can do everything on the data. Okay. Next, full control. Full control means whatever change can do, everything can be done in full control. Along with that, the user with full control can provide access to others as well. That means I have a full access on share. Then what I can do, I can add someone's. I can change the permissions. I told you, right? I have shown you folder level permissions. If you go to properties and security tab, you'll be able to see you can add users, you can remove the users from the access. That things can be done. The user with full control can do those things, but the user with the change permission can't will be not able to uh, make any changes with the permissions, but he can do everything with the data. Okay, but full control, he can do whatever change can do with the data. Along with that, he can again manage the permissions as well on folder level. Okay, read cannot do anything. Only the user with read privilege only can view the data. No access means nothing but the user which we don't want to provide access to the share. For example, okay, I have a group. For example, SAN team. There is a group. I want to 100 members are there. 100 people are there in the group. I want to give access to 98 people in this group. So I don't want to give access to 2 persons on this group to the share. Then normally, generally, what I can do, I can provide access to this group. Automatically, 100 members will get access, right? So what I can do, I'll give um, access to entire group, and whatever the 2 users I don't want to give access, right? For them, I'll add no access as well, so that they'll not get access to the share. Did you got it? Instead of that, you can do another way where you can add all 98 persons individually by using the user account. That is a painful, right? Adding 98 people to permission is very difficult. Instead of that, just add this group, which will give access to all 100 members. From them, pick the 2 persons which you don't want to give access, and add them to no access. I'll show you all these things. Don't worry. Okay. So no access means will the particular person with no access will be not able to access the share. Okay. So by default, everyone will get full control. That means everyone in your organization, they'll be able to access this share. If they know the share name, they'll get access to it. Okay. So in order to change that, what we need to do, we need to change the permissions. We'll call it as ACL. ACL means access control list. We need to change them. Okay. So how to do that? vServer CIFS share access control create. Which share you are creating on share one, to whom you want to provide access to. Better to put it in quotes every time. Okay. I want to give access to demo. There is a user called administrator. I want to give access to this particular user. Okay. What type of permission you want to give? What type of permission you want to give? I want to give full control. Spelling mistake. Okay. Spelling mistake. Typo. The user must be there in the domain. If he is not there, then you'll get this error: fail to resolve the security identifier account name. That means the user is not there in the domain. That is the reason it wrote this error. Okay. There is a typo actually. That's why. Okay. Now, if you take a look at the CIFS share show command. See, everyone also full control, and this particular user also has full access on that share. Now what I'll do, I'll delete everyone so that only administrator can access this share. Share access control. Now I'm deleting the access. For creating the access, you need to use access control create command. For deleting the access, you need to use access control delete command. Everyone. I'm deleting it for everyone. That means now only administrator can access this particular share. Okay. So how to access this storage from any server? So in order to access the storage from any Windows server, first you need to log in as the same user. Now see here, should display the account details here. Yeah, see, I already logged in as administrator. See, it is displaying administrator. That means I don't need to enter any username or password because I logged in with the same user account where this share is assigned to. So I can access this share directly. How to do that? So after creating a share, we'll get a path like this, // our virtual CIFS server name. You can give virtual CIFS server name or virtual CIFS server FQDN, fully qualified domain name, which is a again demo.netapp.com. The using a FQDN is the best practice. Okay, using FQDN is a best practice. And / share name. So this is what we'll call it as CIFS share path. So whenever you create a share, you'll get the path like this. Normally, this is a common, right? On a saying vServer. Okay, only share name will keep on changing on this vServer. But if you created it on different vServer, then this also will change. Okay. Now let me do that. So what you need to do, just open a file explorer and enter the details there. // sorry, a virtual CIFS server name .demo.netapp.com / share name. See, I'm able to access it because I have a Q trees in this share, right? See, I'm able to see the Q trees as folders. Okay, this is how you can create a share and you can access the share. Okay, for example, if you want to map this in your computer, my PC here, what you need to do, right click here. There is an option called map network drive. You need to right click on this PC, click on map network drive, and selected drive letter you want. I want to use N. Okay, and here you need to enter the same CIFS path. It will show you example as well how to do that. See, // server name. Server means CIFS virtual server / share name. That's it, and hit finish. See, it opened. Now if you go to this PC again, you'll be able to see that. See, share one. I'm able to see it 10 GB. I can go in there. I can write data. I can go into that folder and I can copy some text file, write data. Okay, save it. Yeah, I can do whatever I want because I have access to that. Okay, now I have provided access to only one person, right? Like that, I can provide access to multiple persons on share level. So how to do that? Let me create a few users here. So that let me create a few users. So Active Directory users and computers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a few users. Just go to domain. Normally it will be like this. Okay, you need to expand the domain. This is Active Directory. I want to create some users with our names. Okay, right click on users and go to new, and you'll be able to see a user. I'm creating a new user in domain. This is how they'll create whenever any employee joins. Okay. Uh, okay. login name also Amar. I'm just creating it simply. Next, and it is asking me to set the password. Okay, user must change password. I don't want to do that. Like that. See, I created a password called Amar. Let me create another user. Like, let me create 2-3 users. Krishna. Okay. Another user. Zubair. This is a full name. You need to provide the initial, first name, initial, last name, like that. And this is a login name, username, user login name. And this is the domain. And this is how you need to log in. Demo / username. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a group as well. New user group. This is a group. For example, SAN team. So let's create a SAN. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add users to this group. Let's click members, add. Going to add Amar. I'm going to add Krishna. Same way, let me add Zubair as well. So now all of them are part of this group as well, Active Directory group. So now what I can do, now only Amar requires access to Amar and Zubair required access to this group. I don't want to this share. I don't want to provide access to Krishna. What I can do, I can do it in two ways. One, I can give access to SAN group, entire group, and I can only add Krishna no access. That I can do, or else I can add the Zubair and Amar individually. Okay, we server CIFS share access control create share name user or group. We need to provide demo / Amar. You can ignore this. Now I want to give only permission change to Amar. Okay. Same way, I want to give only read access to Zubair. Okay. Now let's check the vserver CIFS share access control show, or you can normally check here as well. Show here two. Oh, sorry, share one. See, now administrator Amar and Zubair, both three of them has access to share, but with a different privileges. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So these are the share level permissions. Share level permissions can be managed from ONTAP command line. Okay. Whenever we create a share, by default, it will be open for everyone with full control. But after share creation, we need to restrict it with for a particular users and groups who requested the share based on their requirement. Whenever we got a request for share, we need to ask them who all needs access to the share. Those details we need to check with them. Okay, those details we need to get them before proceeding with the request creation, share creation. Okay. So along with the share level permissions, we need to control the security permissions as well. First level of security permissions. So first you need to go to computer management. For example, let me open the share drive here. See, when I open the share drive, properties, and if you go to security, by default it is everyone. This is a security means, see, don't confuse between the permissions, guys. Okay, we have two permissions. One is a share level permission, which we have modified and created now from the ONTAP command line. We have a security permission as well, security level, which is a file and folder level. Okay, this share level permissions will grant you access on just up to share level, high level. But if you want to access the individual files and folders, you need to be part of this security level permission as well. Okay. So how to manage them? I'll show you. Initially, this is a not, we can manage them from here as well, but this is not a best way to manage them from here. So what you need to do is to open computer management, okay, from any of your Windows server and select actions, click on connect to another computer, connect to another computer. And here you need to provide your virtual CIFS server name. You can give fqdn demo.netapp.com. That is the best thing actually. Okay. Next, expand system tools, shared folders, and click on shares. Then you will be able to see all your shares here. See, I have created a share, right? Share one. I'm able to see it. On top of which volume I created it? Vol one, right? Junction path. Now right click here and go to properties. And here you'll be able to see both share permissions. See, on share level, I have added these three guys, right? Same way, security permissions also you'll be able to see. By default, both the share level and security level permissions will be everyone full control, but we need to modify them. Okay. What we need to do, we need to add users, administrator. Okay. Zubair. Colon, I'm using colon. Okay. Sorry, semicolon I'm using, not colon. Next thing is, or else you can add users individually also, add them one by one also. But I'm adding all of them together. Summer. Okay. Click OK. And here you can again on user level also you can set the permissions. For example, Amar, I want to give only modify. Will modify. I don't want to give full control to him. But for Zubair, I want to give full control. Okay. No, I want to give only read only. Okay. I want to give read permissions to Zubair. Even I don't want to give write as well. Okay. For administrator, I want to give full control. That's it. Apply. That's okay. Okay. After that, I just want to remove everyone. Remove it. Okay. This is the way you need to change the folder level permissions. Generally, folder level permissions will be managed by Windows team in most of the organizations, but in some organizations, we storage admins only will manage the folder level permissions. Again, that depends on your organization. Okay. Any questions, guys?
No, Naveen.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Now, if you see here, here also the permissions got changed. Let's see. If you go to security, see. Okay. This is the way you can set the share level permissions and user level permissions. Oh. So only thing is, whenever you logged into the server, in order to access the CIF share, you logged in with the same username, which where this share is linked with. Let me create another share. Share name, share to path / wall to. These share properties, let's leave them for now. We'll talk about them little later. Okay, that's it. As I told you again, everyone full control by default. Let's change that. vServer, CIFS, share, access control, create, which where I'm providing on share to, I want to create an access control. Whom you want to give access? I want to give access to demo/san. This time I'm not adding any individual user. I'm adding a group. Okay. Permission. I want to give full control. That means whoever the persons in that group, they'll all of them will get full control. That means Amar, Krishna, Zubair, all three of them will get full control. Okay. Now access control, delete, share to. Okay. Everyone. I'm removing everyone. Now if you see now only the users in SAN, okay, they'll be able to access the share. Let's give it a try. Even you can use a short name also. See why I'm getting access denied? Because only I have added SAN group. Is administrator part of SAN group? No, right? Only Amar, Zubair and Krishna, they are part of a SAN group, right? Administrator is not part of that. And I logged into my server as administrator. So I'll be not able to access that share. Either you need to add administrator, you need to provide access to administrator as well here, or you need to log in to the server as Amar, Zubair or Krishna. Okay. So let me add now. So vServer access control, create. Now I want to give access to admin as well. Oh, the typo. Okay. Administrator. Yeah. Now let's give it a try. See, now I got access. Why? Because of share level permissions. Okay. Now let's change the user. Let's refresh it. You'll be able to see the second share as well here. See, I'm able to see it now. From here, you can go to properties, share level. You'll be able to see only these three, and user level also. You can. Whenever you are dealing with the permissions, don't remove first. Add whatever you want, apply that, then only remove the things whatever you want to remove. For example, if you accidentally removed everyone, now everyone has access to it on folder level permissions. For example, if I remove everyone and apply it, then I'll lose access to it. I'll be not able to change the permissions. I'm part of everyone. That's why I'm able to get access to these permissions, right? So whenever you are dealing with permissions, first add the permissions, what you want to add, then only remove the permissions, what you want to delete. Okay. So I want to add entire SAN group. Okay. And for SAN group, I want to provide full control. The same way I want to add admin. And for administrator also, I want to give full control. Let's apply that. That's okay. Now, again, edit. Now remove everyone. Apply. Okay. This is the way you can change the folder level permissions. For example, even if you remove folder level permission also, you'll be not able to access the share. Okay. But I don't want to do that now. Yeah. you need access to share level as well as folder level to access the share. Then only you'll get access to the share. Mhm. Any questions? Okay, cool then. Now, how to delete the share? Pretty simple. That is, we said now I have already shown you how to create a share, how to add permission to user on a share, how to remove the user from the share, user permission on the share, right? We can modify the access control as well. Server CIFS share access control modify. By using modify, you can change the permission. For example, on share 2, okay, my SAN group has full control, right? Earlier. Now what I'm going to do, yeah. Now I want to change it to only change. Okay. Now vserver CIFS share show. If you run this command, see now only they can perform change operations. Okay, like that. You can modify the permissions on the existing user on a share as well by using access control modify. Okay. Now let's delete a share. vserver CIFS share. Okay. Delete share name vserver name. That's it. See it here. vserver CIFS share show. See, I'm not able to see any share here. Share 2 is not available to me now. Okay. One more thing. I just want to show you one more thing. See, I have already created a share 1, right? And I have copied some data on top of it. Now I just want to delete this share. So if you take a look at now, see, I'm not able to see the share 1 as well. Can I get access to share 1? No, right? I'll be not able to access share 1 because I have deleted the share. But what about the data? So I have copied some data, right, on that share. So what happened to the data? When I create a share on top of that volume, can I get the data back or not? Can anyone answer me that? Actually, if you delete the share, just you will lose access to that share. That's it. It is not like you are going to lose the data. The data will be hosted on top of a volume, right? Volume or Q-tree, right? Share is just a process that we are presenting that volume or Q-tree to client, right? So when you delete a share, you will not lose the data, okay? Because the data will be stored on the volume. If you delete the volume or Q-tree, then you will lose the data. Again, when you create a share on the same volume again, you'll be able to see the data. Let me show you that. Okay, you'll not get it. Okay, so I'm closing it. Let me create a share again. vserver CIFS share create share name share 1 slash vol 1. That's it. Now let's give it a try. See, still I'm able to see the data, the new folder and file that I have created. Okay. Any questions, guys? Cool. Just a second. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Next thing is I'll show you a few more things. How to create a share on Q-tree as well. We have Q-trees as well, right? Uh, yeah. sorry, tree show. So I have a Q tree called Q tree sys mgr, right? So for creating any volume, sorry, CIFS share, or before presenting it to NFS, make sure that the volume has a junction path. Okay. And security style as better. So my walls is manager NTFS and it has a junction path. So now I can create a share on top of the Q tree as well, on which is on volume. So how to do that? vServer CIFS share create share name Q tree share, something like that. I just want to give. What is the path? You need to provide the volume junction path first, and after that Q tree name. Yeah, Q tree name, Q tree system share. That's it. Okay. Now you can access your share. Q tree share. So whatever the data you are copying here will go to the Q tree. Okay, because you have created this share on top of a Q tree, not on volume. Okay. For example, now I'm creating a share on volume level as well. Okay. Now what happens? Can I able to see the data which is on Q tree if I access the volume level share? Yes, you can. All share I'm accessing. See, now I'm able to see Q tree as well and the data inside the Q tree as well, right? But again, you can manage it with the permissions, like remove the permissions so that the person will be not able to access. It's all depends on your permissions. Okay. The person has access to volume level, then he can see the Q tree and data inside the Q tree. But even you can restrict the access with permissions with the help of permissions. But he can see the Q trees. Okay. This is the way you can create a share on Q tree. And I promised you to show one more thing, right? Mm, junction path. Uh, I have a volume called wall 4, which is mounted under wall 3, right? So if I have access to wall 3, okay, they are of different security style. Okay, let me quickly mount my wall 5, wall 2 under wall 1. Okay, wall 2 under wall 1. Volume, unmount, volume name, wall 2, volume, mount, slash wall 1 slash wall 2. That means I'm mounting my wall 2 under wall 1. Okay. Now share 1 is created on wall 1, right? See, now I'm able to see my wall 2 as well here under wall 1. So if I have access to wall 1, I can access the wall 2 as well. Wall 2 is visible to me as a folder shortcut. See here, shortcut. So I can enter in there and I can copy the data. Okay, like this. I can do whatever I want. Any questions? Okay. Yeah, let's talk about the remaining few things. So access control, we'll use it to modify the access, delete the access, create the access, right? Create you already know, and delete also you know, creating the share and deleting the share. Modify means there are few things. By using this modify, you can modify the settings on top of your CIFS share. I'll show you. For example, I want to modify share one. So what all options you can modify? Generally, vServer, we don't do that. Path, for example, you have if you have changed the volume junction path, then you can change the path under share. But generally, those things we don't do them. Okay, those are very critical, and you might lose the data. That's why we don't manage them. And Symlink, these are little advanced. Like um, uh, if you are good at very advanced level of CIFS and NFS, then only you'll be able to understand. These are related to symbolic link and all. Let's ignore them. Okay, let's understand the normal things first. If you are able to understand, if you want them, then I'll talk about these things, these options in advanced topics. Like if you have any requirement. Okay. Next thing is comment, which is pretty simple. You can add a comment to the CIFS share, like this share belongs to Sandy. Like that, you can add a simple comment. So by seeing the comment itself, we'll understand. Okay, this share belongs to Sandy. So yeah, we don't touch that. And one more option is vscan file or profile. I told you, right? Um, Whatever the data we are copying to a CIFS share, the storage which is presented by a CIFS, it will go through antivirus scanning. But we can manage those things here. For example, you don't want to, I mean, like whatever the data you are copying to share one, okay, you don't want that data to go through antivirus scanning. Then what you can do, you can skip antivirus scanning for a particular share by using this option, vscan file or profile. Here, if you mention no scan, that means whatever the data you are copying to this share, that will not go through antivirus scanning. It will directly enter into controller, okay, without going through antivirus scanning. Okay, and there are few other options like standard. This is the default option. When you create a CIFS share, it will select the standard option only. So it will do a standard file scanning. Strict means it will not skip even a single file. Like we'll be having some settings on antivirus scanner end. Like if it is scanning a file, uh, when the file is taking a little longer, then what it will do, it will skip the file and it will send the file to copy to the share, okay, in standard setting. But if you select a strict here, that means it doesn't matter how long it takes. It will complete the antivirus scan, then only it will allow the file to enter into the share, I mean our storage controller. Okay, normally if you apply a strict option, then you might notice performance impact. So generally people will don't use strict more oftenly. Okay, we'll go ahead with standard only. Okay, writes only means only write requests will go through the antivirus scanning, read requests will not go through antivirus scanning. Okay, but in standard or strict, both the write requests and read requests also will go through antivirus scanning. Not only when you are writing the data, whenever you are reading the data also, it will go through antivirus scanning and it will come to us. Okay, now I'm selecting no scan here. Okay, and we have another option, very useful option called max connections. Max connections, that means, as I told you, we can, multiple persons can access the share, right? That is what I told you. Multiple users can access the share at a time. For example, I have created a share and I have provided like access to 1,000 persons on the share. If what happens if 1,000 persons try are accessing the share at a time? it will impact the performance of the share, right? For example, you have a Wi-Fi in your home, only two people are accessing, it will be very fast. What if 20 people started accessing the share? It will slow down, right? Same way, if people are accessing the share got increased, it will show impact on your share. So that is the reason we can limit the connections on a single share. That means if I keep 10 here, only 10 connections can be made on the share. That means at a time, only 10 persons can make, can 10 persons can access the share. 10 connections can be made. When 11th connection is trying to connect to the share, it will throw an error like maximum connections reached out. So in order to get access to that 11th person, one of the existing users has to disconnect. One of the existing connections has to disconnect from the share. Then only the 11th person will get access. Okay. That means at a time only 10 connections can be made to the share. Okay. So yeah, these are the useful settings for us on CIFS share level. So by using this modify option, we can change these settings on a share. Not only that, if you want, we can um, add these options while creating the share itself. Okay, let me show you that. Server CIFS share create. See, I can use CIFS share. So see, whatever the changes I made, right? For example, on share one, see it is showing my comment. This share belongs to SAN team, something like that. Okay, like that. Whatever the things we made, it will show us. Like not only that, if you here, it will show you. See, I have limited the connections to 10, right? And I have opted for no antivirus scanning. All these options, whatever the things you have modified, you'll be able to see them here. Okay. Now let me delete this share and recreate it. While creating the share also, you can uh, provide all these options. Share one. I'm deleting it. Now I'm creating the share again. Share name, share one, path, wall one, share properties, symbolic links. Do you want a sim link or not? Or let's ignore them. Scan, op profile. I want only writes only scan. Okay. And comment, SAN team share. Okay. Something like that. Just comment I have added. And maximum connections 100. Okay, like that. While creating the share also, we can specify all these options. You don't need to create a share and modify them again. While creating also, you can specify all these options. Okay. Cool. Any questions? Okay. Now we'll talk about the properties. vServer, CIFS, share. We have already gone through access control, create, delete, modify, show nothing but showing the shares, displaying the shares to us. Now let's talk about properties. Properties are nothing but some features uh, which we can add or remove from the share level, share, a particular share. Okay, with the help of these properties only we can do that. So first let me remove everything. Share properties, I just want to remove everything. After that, by adding, I'll show you. Oh, properties. In order to add properties, just add which share you want to add them, share one. Now we have a lot of properties, right? First one is oplogs. Oplogs we have already discussed about it, right? What oplogs will do, we have discussed about it when we are talking about a Q-tree. On Q-tree level also we have oplogs, and if you want to enable it on share level, you can do that. That means whatever the data on this share, that can utilize the local cache of the host mission. From, for example, if I am accessing from this server, this share data can utilize the local cache of my server as well, so that it will improve the performance. Okay, can add oplogs, comma, browsable, which is a very important option. Okay, so if you add the browsable option, I'll show you what will happen. Okay, now I have added oplogs. We know oplogs, right? Let's leave it for now. Browsable, for example, whenever when I am accessing shares like this. Okay, for example, if I go back to SVM, I'm just curious what will happen if I click on SVM. If I click on SVM, see, I'm able to see all the shares here. Like whatever the CIFS shares or SMB shares I have configured on top of this SVM, CIFS virtual server, I'm able to see all of them, right? So I have admin privileges so that I can access every share. Normally, if I don't know the share name, I'll be not able to access it. But as this option is enabled, browsable option, I'm able to see all the shares and I can access all the shares, right? But the people who don't have access to the share, they'll get error when they try to access it. But as I'm an administrator, I have access to all the shares. So I have a share called a share one, which is a very critical share, which contains a confidential data. There and click on browsing, right? That will be not visible for them. Let me show you that. Let me remove the properties again. Okay, what we need to do in order to do that, you need to remove that browsable option from here. Now go there and see. Let's refresh it. I'm not able to see that share one, but I can access it. Okay, still with the name. When I enter the name, I'm able to access it. But only thing is, I'm not able to see this share here. This will be a hidden share. We'll call it as a hidden share. Only the people who knows the share name, only they can access it. Okay, did you got it? When I add the browsable property again, see, I have added it now. I'm able to see it. I'll be able to see it. See? Okay, so by using this option, browsable option, we can hide the share or we can unhide the share to the browsing users. That means normal users who try to browse the shares. Okay, next. Show snapshot and show previous version. I'm going to discuss about them a little later, not today, in few days when we are talking about the snapshot concept. Okay. Next thing is change notify. This is nothing but again, this is a kind of a auditing option. Like when you configure some auditing, you want to see everything what is happening in the share, then you need to add this option. Then what it will do, whatever the changes happening on top of the data, for example, someone changed the permissions on a folder, someone deleted a folder, someone created a folder, all those things will be recorded in the auditing file. Okay, that's it. For that option you need to enable this attribute cache, ignore that. And we have an option called continuously available. Okay, continuously available share. Generally, we'll use this option only for only if you are using the share in a Hyper-V or SQL. application, okay, SQL database applications, then only we'll use these options. Okay, it might be more technical, but let's discuss this. The people who are not able to understand, just ignore it, but it will be very useful in as an advanced concept. Okay, so generally this CIFS protocol will work based on a sessions. Okay, if you don't use this option, okay, continuous available option, what it will do, whenever user closed the share, for example, if I close this share, it will close the CIFS session and connection. Okay, session and connection. Whenever again I open that share, it will create a new session and new connection. Okay, will create a new session and new connection for the same share. The connection ID and session ID will change. Okay, that I mean, whenever you are using this share for Hyper-V, Hyper-V is nothing but it is a just like VMware only. I think you guys might aware of VMware, right? VMware is a solution where you can host multiple virtual machines on top of a single physical server. Hyper-V also same concept, but this is from Microsoft. Okay, if you are using this in Hyper-V or SQL database, then every time whenever you close the session and you open the session ID and the connection ID will change, right? That will create a complexity if you are using this share with the Hyper-V or SQL. Okay, so that is the reason if you use continuously available option, then there will be a dedicated connection ID and session ID assigned for this share for that particular session. So whenever that particular user open the share, the same session ID and connection ID will be assigned again. Whenever he closed it, again that will release the session ID and connection ID. But again, whenever he opened it, again the same session ID and connection ID will be opened. Okay, not only that, along with that, normally as CIFS will work on session basis, if I'm not accessing a share for some time, then the session will be closed automatically. Whenever you try to access again, it will again the session will be active, become active, right? But if you use this continuously available option, the session will be never closed. Like the session will be never expired. It will be continuously available. Okay. As I have added the continuously available, it is showing some warning. Making a share continuously available is only recommended for the shares that are used for Hyper-V and over SMB3 or SQL Server over SMB3. SMB3 is a protocol, nothing but. Okay. So making a share continuously available for a general purpose shares or home directory shares is not recommended. So yeah, that is what they're recommending. Okay. And remaining options, branch cache, ignore that. Access based enumeration. So just a second. Uh, So access based enumeration. Okay, it's already 10:30. Let's stop it for today. Remaining like access based enumeration, encrypt data, those things we'll discuss tomorrow. And along with them, remaining CIFS, entire CIFS will finish tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Just go through the video and let me know if you don't understand anything or if you want me to repeat any of the topic. So I'll repeat it.